Hey y'all. So normally I don't do this, but I just feel led to kind of reflect and provide whatever relief or um, support for anyone who's going through anything right now, and just to kind of just like give my testimony about life and what's been going on. So it's funny because today, what happened to me today lit a fire under my tail for me to want to just like break out and encourage someone else and to kind of like not hoard what God's been doing in my life and the people around me as a result of my obedience, right? So we'll get to what happens today, and I'll try to make this as short as possible because, like, I really want to give it all to you, but I feel like there will be a different medium where I can use to filter all of these thoughts and things and that I want to share. And it'll probably be in my writing or, in my creative stuff because I definitely have to get back in that life. Um, I know Renee. But I was tested today, right? And I could have really failed had I not been doing the work and been consistent. And there have been times in my past where I have not been consistent. I know all of us go through that, right? But for me, this last 7 or 8 months has been a trying time for my family. And I was talking to somebody the other day and I was like, man, the person I was maybe even a year or two ago. I would say like the person I was in my 20s had what happened in my family happened then, I probably would have lost it. And I shared this with my line sisters, Tamisha and Jazz and Tamisha. We spoke about this in detail of how different ways I was tried and attacked um, through the affliction of my loved one. And it had me really face some things that I had possibly suppressed, dismissed, or was just unwilling to just face. And it really took a like near death experience for uh, my family member, myself, other family members, like literally back to back. Like I remember, not too much information because I know my relatives are private, but from December and November, my grandmother having a small procedure, which turned into open heart surgery, which turned into me going down there to see her and our rebuild our relationship and me not understanding the severity, she not understanding the severity before going under the knife that like this is a possible near death experience. And the recovery, man, like wasn't nobody ready for it. We thought we were there for just a procedure, then be able to hang out a couple of days, then be able to fly home. But one visit to the doctor and them opening her up, the situation turned bleak. And from boom, that instance of her being sick to other relatives being sick to boom, now my mom is ill, right? So like life was hitting me crazy, but the wild thing was I was talking to someone about me coming into doing the things like creating action plans for me achieving my goals. So like I had an accountability partner, Javari, what's up? Um, where I was working with people, Renee, my mentor, um, and my spiritual mothers and aunties on getting back on track to get to where I felt God had called me. And I felt like I was unfulfilled in areas because I just was, I wouldn't say lazy, but I was fearful of the success and the weight of it, right? So some people it's just easy for them to just jump into things and just do it. But for me, I could kind of understand the burden of, dang it, this blows up. Like, this will take time from me being with my family. This will take time from me, you know, bonding with certain people or them feeling like I am reachable, right? So self sabotage, whatever the case may be. So I've been, regardless, I've been doing my work, right? And then working on my spiritual work. I took a pilgrimage to Israel. I had it on my list of things that I wanted to do, and I was doing it. I went to go see one of my close friends, Bridget, in Key West, like doing it. Like I'm making things happen, and had a amazing experience in Israel that transformed just my whole being. Like I was able to release stuff that I was just hoarding and carrying and weights that I didn't even know I had that were in my body that was, you know, on my soul that I was able to just really let go. And I came back just ready. Like I'm going to work. I got this new found relationship with God and he's doing this in my life and as a result he's gonna do everything that he promised me and my dreams and my family. So I'm feeling like, you know, Joseph, like when he went to his brothers and he's bragging about like his dream that God gave him about them all bowing down or whatever the case may be in the coat. So like I'm feeling myself, right? Cuz I'm like, yes, God, you revealed everything to me, but I forgot about how even in the Bible, in real life, when God reveals to you all the great things He's gonna do to you, sometimes I think we forget that in order to get there, there's a test. Because He's not gonna give it to you if there's not gonna be a testimony. Because the whole point of you getting what He has for you, right, is so that you can bring someone else into the fold so that he can get the glory and so that he can transfer them too. So your blessing is just not just your blessing. So I was naive thinking like, yo, I'm finna be lit. My family gonna be lit. We're gonna be good. You know, everything great is gonna happen. And I forgot about the test. And it's not like it hasn't never happened before. Anything I've ever wanted, like I played ball. I knew you couldn't just have, a triple double just by like showing up with a basketball in your hand. You had to work. I knew what that was. I understood what that meant. Sacrifice and work and putting the time in. But man, God, like the dream felt like it was about to happen right now. Like it felt like the doors were about to happen. That everything that I had dreamt about was about to happen, and I'm coming out of my shell, and hey, boo, and boom, life happened. Like life didn't just happen. Like life slapped me, it picked me up, it slapped me again. But it was, even though God revealed to me that all these great things were going to happen, I also had these dreams that I dismissed of some sad things. Like God revealed to me years before my godmother passed that she was gonna pass, and as broken as I was, and I said, "Oh, I'm not gonna be able to handle that," and da 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 da. You know, somehow he revealed it to me that my heart was able to break before the incident happened so that I was prepared, because he knew that had it just happened out the blue, like I would be walking around like these people who ain't right in their minds and on the train just mumbling stuff, sleeping, in the subway. I would have been jacked up. So fast forward to recently, I'm on a high. I'm going to women's conference. I'm serving. I'm dancing in the women's dance ministry at my church, and um, things are getting a little bit better at work, and I'm hanging out with old friends and coming out of my shell, and boom, my grandmother gets sick, my mom gets sick, and the crazy thing was I was on a high celebrating my negative results because a year and a half ago they were trying to tell me I possibly had cancer. So not a lot of people know about that. That I was running back and forth from the doctor, getting biopsies, but still showing up to church, praying, reading the word, being focused because I knew if I just stayed in it, if I just stayed on course and kept fighting, there was a chance that I was going to come out on top. And I did. So it's like, yeah, yo, like, man, favor, like blessings and overcoming things. Like, I got this. Like, my muscles is flexed and bring on whatever you got, right? Nah, bruh. That, that, that moment helped give me the stamina and the faith muscles that I needed to be ready for the real test, right? And the real test was coming years later. Like boo, we really wasn't trying to get you, right? We was just trying to weaken you down so that when the real test came, you wouldn't be ready for it. And had everything that happened to me this year happened, like I said before, earlier in life, there's no way I'd be able to function. There's no way I'd be able to talk about the peace of God which surpasses all understanding. There's no way I'd be able to worship and be excited or whatever the case may be. So life happened. And my mom got sick around our favorite holiday, Christmas. And if you know anything about us, Christmas is like everybody comes together. It's a big old cooking situation, and Christmas is the best holiday. Matter of fact, no, I think it was around Thanksgiving, right after Thanksgiving, she got sick, and then Christmas, and then it was like, boom, we spend the holidays, every holiday in the hospital. Boom, I'm going back and forth from church to home. I'm not getting no sleep. Boom, like life just shifted. Like my priorities had to change, and I lost some friends because some people, you realize their motives, and some people aren't able to really be there for other people. They don't know what it is to be selfless and having to surrender your life to care for someone else. It is really a hard thing to do. I didn't think I'd be able to be a caretaker and do the things that I'm doing because I literally said a year prior to my mom getting sick that I don't think I could handle that. Make sure all your ducks is in a row. Literally had that conversation. And fast forward to it, God is just so good because what was really like today, I saw a light, and she gonna probably be salty because I'm talking about her business, but I saw a light and a fire and a resilience in her in this transition that I thought I had, right? I thought I had because I was doing the work. But man, to go through what she went through and fight and fight and fight, like that just let me know, like, you ain't all there, girl. You still got a lot to work to do. And this season, I know God's speaking to all of us about a rest, right? About a reset, about us being restored, all the things that we were lost, and about us showing our faith and praying. Like all these preachers, everybody, like Reverend Lane, T.D. Jakes, uh, Jason Nelson, William Murphy. Everybody's saying the same message. And it's like some people are just taking it in and receiving a little bit of it, and they're not really taking it seriously. Like, you can really get everything. Like, I remember declaring and decreeing with oil, you cannot have my mom. Like, you can get everything you want if you just really be serious about it and say, God, yo, I'm here. Like, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to tell this person off. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to compromise it. And today I almost had to compromise it. I had a man jump in my face. And had I reacted to him the way I wanted to react, he and I and everybody else and my mom today when I came home would have missed the blessing, would have missed the chance to see God. This man came in there with force. Like, he was going to take what he was going to take, and he sized me up. It's not even a part that he yelled. He could have yelled. He could have cussed at me. He sized me up to see if he was really gonna take me down or push me to the side or just fight me for whatever's going on in his life. And had I been the old Ashley and just got ready when he jumped and flexed at me, had I retaliated, I would have missed the blessing of seeing the moment when he had to come and humble himself and thank me. Within less than an hour from this man jumping in my face like he was going to hurt me, he had to thank me. And I really had to say, man, God is in control. Because I told my coworker, man, I, my, like the adrenaline in my body, like I was sweating and I was like shaking because I was like, man, all the stuff I'm going through, I would have been justified. I would have been justified because he jumped in my face. I was justified because I'm going through stuff. I would have been justified. And then to have that humbling moment, it didn't even register until I got in the car and I got home off the train. And I was like so weary going into work. I haven't been able to sleep for real, for real. And to see this moment happen and see it turn around so quickly, it's like I can't stop. I can't go to women's retreat and to conference and to go to a dynamic church service and get delivered and be in the presence of some great leaders and dance among prophets like, T.D. Jakes, and, get hands laid on by, all these different prophets who prophesy into my life, and go to worship conference and really get my life and just have all these experiences and be lukewarm and be not prepared and not do the work. Like, man, this is time to wake up. Our world is in a crazy place. People are in a crazy place, and it's our reactions and us not retaliating and us being on point and us really, really listening to the call. Some people are being called. Joshua, you are being called. People are being called, and we cannot be lackadaisical about it. Something is shifting. They were talking about it. There's new people are going to new dimensions, man. And the worst part about it is like some people are getting left behind. People who were leading the pack are getting left behind because they are just they're coasting. So all I'm saying is just don't coast. Be real. Check yourself. Figure out if it's you. You don't always have to be right. some of my victories this year, I was just telling Tamisha about this when we are uh in Mineola in the parking lot. Some of my victories have been me just shutting the heck up and just surrendering it to God. And that was our message for church, like our season of total surrender. And I had to, man. And when I look at all the situations, if I tell you all the situations, all the people who came at me twisted, who said whatever, I was justified. Justified. But I'm not going to get what he has for me if I hit if I get in the way. I can't help God. God don't want my help. He wants me to surrender it all to him. So I'm just telling you, you surrender it all to him. I'm telling you, there's a blessing for you. I'm praying for everybody. I ask that you continue to pray for me and my mom and my whole entire family, my aunt. It's a lot, but he's keeping us, and he can keep you too. And you just need to stay encouraged, but you have to do your work. You can't just be complacent and content with scraps. The woman said, even the dogs take the scraps at the table. We're not in that season no more. Take it. Get the bread. The bread is there. The bread is at the table. You know, Bishop Jakes' segment that he's taking us. Now we're going behind the veil. We've seen the transition of the temple and what that means and how that's representative of Christ. Get your life. Get your life. Life is too short, man. Get everything you have. Everything he has for you, everything. Stop being content with where you are and being complacent and thinking that people owe you something, or you know hoarding relationships with people. Let them go. Let it go. Move on. Do what he's called you to do and work. And when you get tests, best believe you better show up and use the material that was provided for you. And I think that man was blessed. He missed his blessing. Had he not jumped in my face, I would have helped homeboy out. I didn't understand his situation. And his situation was dire. He really needed help carrying his big old luggage because it looked like there was 4 bags in there. And people think I pack a lot. This man was packing his whole life. But he didn't do his work. And he missed his opportunity to be blessed. We all have the opportunity to be blessers and to be blessed. And even though he didn't get what he wanted, he was still blessed. Want to know why? Because I didn't cuss him out. Because I didn't embarrass him when I saw his state and where he was at. Because I didn't retaliate. He was forced to he was forced to thank me. And for that I hope he's blessed. And he'll be able to check his emotions the next time he comes at somebody crazy and realizes, yo, it's me. I'm not happy with me. This is going on with me. So don't miss your blessing. Don't miss your calling. Do your work. I'm done. I love you. Bye. I'm out.